So today I'm going to give you something else to make this nothing more not substantial, not substantive, which is what's behind the substantial, something that is located in your body, but which is nothing, so that you can walk around being in this place with your attention, with your focus, with your intelligence, and you can be nothing. And the more you do this, the more you will get the idea of what it is to be nothing. You won't get the idea of being God, although you can realize God, but you can't be God. And this is the way in to nothing. So open the eyes now, please, remaining in that nice state where you are. Now the solar plexus is the one place in your body which is demonstrably, in time, the place of nothing. You mustn't get any feelings in the solar plexus mixed up with the feelings in the stomach or the feelings in the chest, which are emotional. You actually have a hole, a real hole, right through you in the solar plexus. The more you focus on that, the more you get the idea of being nothing. Like now. Now the solar plexus, of course, is in that very tender place under the breastplate, the little bay in the breastplate, just under that, in there. And that's the place in the body which is nothing, which you can access with your intelligence. Don't get mixed up with any sensation that's there. The sensation is the sensation of existence. And as your body exists, and your solar plexus is in your body, so your solar plexus exists in your body, but for a while you'll get the sensation there of the existence, although it's very, very fine. But it will disappear as your intelligence enters in stillness, the solar plexus. Like now. See, we might have formed a concept of something, or a structure of being, mightn't we? Of focusing on the pure sensation and all that I've told you before. Now you've got to really break that down and come on. Focus on the solar plexus, which is nothing. You've got a big hole in you. I don't know whether there are any sweets called lifesavers in Australia anymore, are there? They used to have holes in them, right in the centre, like the polo mints in England. or wherever you come from, there are these mints, aren't they, with the hole in them? Well, that's what you are. You're a walking mint. Got a big hole in you. Now, cruel and angry people have a hole in them. And that's the hole of hatred, the hole of revenge, the hole of dislike. And that's a hole that can never be filled. And that's why they're cruel and angry and can't help it. Because they're always trying to fill the hole and they can't. But this is the opposite to that hole. This is a hole that goes on and on and on. Your solar plexus. Now stay there. There's no thought in it. There's no feeling in it. It's just what it is. An emptiness. Not an emptiedness, I mean. That's another thing that you find on the internet that I was looking at by these many teachers. They talk about emptiness. And I tell you, it's not emptiness, it's emptiedness. See, emptiness is a place that you know of when you're in despair and you're without hope and you're desolate and you're empty. Whereas emptiedness is to be emptied like a bottle of all that's inside of you, to be emptied. And you can't be emptied by yourself. You can only be emptied by the grace of God to nothing. If you worship it enough or love it enough, it will empty you. And you will not speak of emptiness, you will speak of emptiedness. For it is grace that emptied me, not I. And that's all in your solar plexus, which is the whole of your body. You can have it either way, H-O-L-E or W-H-O-L-E. The nothing that you are. You know, in this teaching, since I began teaching publicly 18 years ago, and publicly, or 20 or 24 years ago, to people that came to me, I started off by endeavoring to get people to enter their body. It was so rare in those days. I know everybody knows all about it now, but in those days people did not know what it was to be in their body. Like all the people out there, they don't know what it is to be in their body unless they've been to some teachers or something. I had to get them into their body. I had to say, what are you feeling? They weren't allowed to make any statements at anything, but they had to tell me, what do you feel? And you'd be surprised if you asked someone in those days, what do you feel? You often get the question, what do you mean? They didn't know that they felt anything except anger or emotions. And what do you feel? What do you mean? Well, look inside your body. What do you feel? Nothing. That's not true. There's always a feeling there, a true feeling. What do you feel? I had to go around this all the time. I used to have about 20 in the meditation group. We used to meet every Wednesday night, and they'd come for years. And gradually I got them in their bodies. That was the first thing I had to do. And from there I had to take them into the vastness of love, the vastness of the origins of the universe, the vastness of God, the vastness of truth, and gradually expand them into being. Because you might remember or not to recall that I introduced the Course in Being. And I went around the world with the Course in Being to get people to start to get an idea of being rather than being anything. Because we're always being something. We're being a doctor, we're being a therapist, we're being a computer expert, we're being something or other, or we're being this or being that. We're always being something. But I had to endeavour to introduce them to being. Being nothing. But it was still being, wasn't it? And then after a few years of that, I started to say, look, we're finished with the Course in Being, let's just be. And that's where you've been until now. And now I tell you, it is time not to be nothing. It is time to focus on nothing. And I've given you a place to focus on it, where it is in your body, because your body is a magnificent symbol of everything that is real and true and right. So now you know where to focus your intelligence.